Hey, it's Andy Aladort. Make sure you check out Nez Sez, the guitar YouTube show, hosted by David Nesdahl and Ty Price, Thursdays at 8 o'clock on David Nesdahl's YouTube channel. Check it out.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nez Sez Sunday Edition. A place. This is a place where we inspire people to play more guitar at all times. All times. Today is Sunday, August 2nd. I believe it's August 2nd. I hope you guys and girls are having a great weekend. I know it's coming to a close, but I've had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. Unfortunately, tomorrow is Monday. Hey Dennis. Hey Chad. Hey Mark. Hey Will. Hey Rob. Mark. Again. Yes. Today is March. Is August 2nd. What I'm gonna do here is the second episode of my rig rundown. I'm going to show 6 guitars this evening. I'm wearing my homeschooling hello class shirt. Mr. Tom Bukovac. I think he's all of our hero. Certainly is my hero. I'm fortunate enough to get to talk to him from time to time when he has a few minutes. We actually talk. Very cool stuff. Today's Rig Rundown, or today's episode of Rig Rundown, is probably I pay homage to Tom, actually. A lot of cool guitars here. So yeah, Will, I know he's your hero as well, man. Thank God for Tom Bukovac and his 15-minute videos, because I've learned more from him in 15 minutes than I've learned from any instructor ever. Really cool stuff. Good guy. Sweetheart of a guy if you ever get to talk to him. Anyway, what have we all done? I know there's only 10 people here, but only a couple of people said hello. So, hey man, that's Andy Aladort. Hang on a second. What is he saying? Both those Strats are transitional. Oh, okay. This is about the Hendrix Strat on Facebook today. Anyway, what have we all been doing this weekend? Hey, Will Neal, how you doing? Oh, he says he just ordered his first original Floyd Rose. Congratulations, bro. What guitars are going on? Chad says, what's up, my brother? Everything's okay today. Everything's okay. Will Van Han Solo says, I emailed him when I got my 59 Junior, and he was nice enough to email back and say congratulate me on, which I thought was awesome. Yeah, man. Oh, cool. It's going on the Kramer 84. Nice. Yeah, it's really cool when, I don't know that he wants us to call him our hero, but he has inspired all of us. Let's say he has been one of the biggest inspirations on me since since I've known about Eddie Van Halen, and that's cool. But when you get a response from a guy like that, it's like fireworks. It's like the 4th of July. It's like, holy cow, this guy's, not only is he an inspiration and a hero, but he's also a human being, and he interacts with the people that like him, which is very cool. Hey, Jeff. That's right. He says, Will Van Hansel says, we can't hype him too much, but he deserves every bit of praise. Yeah, he doesn't really like it. He's a very shy dude. Very shy dude. But you know what? When he talks to you, when you talk to him and he talks to you like you've been his friend for a long time, even if he doesn't know you. It's very cool. But anyway, the matter at hand today is these 6 guitars I have sitting right next to me. And I think I'm going to start with this one. This is my Nags. It's my Kenai J. And it's relict. 1P90. It's very lightweight. This is a mahogany body, mahogany neck, rosewood fretboard. It's got medium jumbo frets on it. These tuning pegs are super cool. This is the epitome of what a junior should sound like. If you can't afford a vintage 58, any 55, 56, 57, 58 up to 60. If you can't afford one of those, buy one of these. They're awesome, for $3,100, because you're not gonna find anything super inexpensive that's gonna be like this. But for $3,100, if you don't want it relic, it's $27.99. This guitar is incredible. It sounds every bit as good as any junior I've ever heard or played, because I've owned some vintage juniors as well. I've used this on a couple sessions already. This is one of the guitars I pick up first when I play every day. Just a great guitar. I wish I could play for you. My thumb is still under the weather. But yes, one volume, one tone, one pickup. Great guitar. If anyone has any questions on this, Will Van Hansel says fantastic color on that, very much like a 59 or 60 TV Junior. Yeah, it is. It's kind of juniorish, telly-ish. One pickup. Mark Roberts wants to know what happened to my thumb. The top part up to the knuckle has dry gangrene on it, and it's now starting to open up a bit, and it's not very pleasant to look at, and it oozes, fluid, and it's gross. I hate to even bring that up on my videos, but it is what it is. So I have it covered. I can't really hold a pick right now, so I play as the best I can like this, or like that. Will Van Hansel wants to know what pickup this is. I believe this is a Duncan. I'm not sure which one it is, but it is a true P90 because it is noisy. But who cares? It's a P90. Sounds great. And in this guitar in particular, I've AB'd this guitar with a Collings that my buddy has with one P90 in it, and a guitar that I'm going to show you in a few seconds. And this guitar sounds every bit as good as the others. They're very, very close. This is actually the strongest one of the three. Strongest sounding. And it does intonate. Yes, this has got the intonating bridge on it. It's just wonderful. Wonderful guitar. But anyway, with my thumb, that's what's going on with it. There's nothing they can do right now. I'm going to a specialist on the 13th for it, and we'll see what happens. But for now, I have to keep it covered. Don't get it dirty, blah, blah, blah. Keep it medicated and all that nice stuff. So here's my Nags Kenai J. There it is. All right, I'll show it, Will. Here's my original 1962 Les Paul SG Junior. It says Les Paul in the headstock. It is every bit as good as it looks. This guitar is special. It sounds... It doesn't go out of tune. I haven't tuned this guitar up in a long time. I have the original tuning pegs in the case. I changed these because the original ones are like mummy toes. Another Tom Bukovac saying, mummy toes. No headstock break. No neck break. Also, about 6 pounds, maybe under, maybe 5'10", 5'11". Very strong P90. These are original frets, and they have lots of fret left on them. The neck on this is slim taper, 60s. Not terribly thin, but not fat. It's just right for me anyway. There it is, 1962, Les Paul SG Jr. Fantastic. Let's see what people have to say. Awesome guitar. Mark Roberts says, awesome guitar. I wish I had one. Yeah, this is amazing. It does ring, Will. The chat says, wow, they make guitars without Floyds? I don't understand. This might not be a video for you, Chad. I don't have any Floyds on this rack. Sorry. Will Van Hansel asked where I acquired this guitar. Well, this guitar belongs to a very good friend of mine that I went to high school with, and we lost touch. And about 8 months ago, maybe 8 or 9 months ago, maybe it was September, he called me out of the blue and said, hey man, you still play guitar? Do you set up guitars? Do you do this? I said, yeah, I build guitars and I set up guitars. He says, well, would you mind taking a look at one of my guitars and maybe giving it a once over and see what it needs? I said, sure, come on over. So he came over, and this was in the case. And when I looked at it, my eyes came out of my head because I knew exactly what it was, and so did he. He's a guitar player, of course. But it needed a setup. It needed new tuning pegs. And I told him I'd take care of it. And I said, what a beautiful guitar. So he left it with me, and I set it up. And the pegs took a couple days to get here. I put it together. And he came to pick it up. And I said, if you ever decide to sell this guitar, I want it. I want this guitar. He says, well, I'm never going to sell it, but why don't you hold on to it? And I said, no. I just set this guitar up for you. You need to go home and play it. Enjoy it. If there comes a time when you put it on a stand and it stays on a stand for a while and you are like into other things, then if you want to lend it to me, I'd be happy to borrow it. A couple months later, he calls me and says, you want that SG? You want to borrow it? You want to take that SG? I said, you selling it? He says, no, I'm not selling it. But it's just going to sit on a stand. I'm not going to play it. I said, okay, yeah, bring it on over. And he brought it over. This was in December. I still have it. I call him every couple of weeks just to see what he's thinking. He was like, man, if I ever want it back, I'll take it back. But it's on permanent loan, or as long as he wants me to have it. So I keeping it like it's mine, knowing that it's going to go home someday. And that's it. My 62 SG. Anyone have anything to say about that? Chad says, no, I love your guitars, man. I know you do. I'm just kidding with you. Hey, Reza. Hobo Rody says, first guitar I ever played was a blue SG Les Paul that David LaFemme has in his pile now. Nice. Will Van Hansel says, that was very cool. I have a 64 concert amp Fender 410 on loan like that. Yeah, it's cool. It's nerve-wracking because, it's not yours. You have to take special care of it. But you take care of it like it was yours. Play the thing, but keep it in good condition. That's what I do. It doesn't leave the house. But hey, James Gum, how you doing? So that's that guitar. The next guitar is my 61 Les Paul SG Custom Shop. This is a Historic Collection 61 from the Gibson Custom Shop. Historic. Also a great guitar. 2 custom buckers in it. This is a mahogany body and neck with a rosewood fretboard. Beautiful, very light guitar, maybe 6.5 pounds. Also in tune. Forgive me that I can only strum chords. I'm sorry. Wish I could play some licks. I wish I could turn it on for you. Can't do it right now. Yeah, so this is my Angus Young moment. Also my Tesla moment, my Frank Hannon moment. Love this guitar. All these guitars, I have 10s on them right now. I probably would put 11s on this, but I can't pick it. I'm just, it's easier to play with 10s at the moment. So, do I ever top wrap my strings? No, I don't. I like the downward angle, and I like the tension. I'd rather have 10s with more tension on them that makes them feel more like 11s, but still they're thin, so they don't hurt my fingers. If I do the top wrap, they're just too slinky. And I don't want to use 11s because they're thicker and they'll hurt my fingers. What brand of strings do I like? I use Ernie balls. The pink pack for all the Floyd Roses, the 9 to 42s, and the yellow pack, I believe it's a yellow pack, for the 10 to 46. I also use GHS Boomers 10 to 46. And I've used most of my life. I've used the Darios, whether they be the EXL 120s for the Floyds and the EXL 110s for the for everything else. Will Neil wants to know, how many packs of strings do I usually keep on hand? I have a workbench with all my tools and where I do my repairs, and I have probably 4 cases of strings, 2 cases of 9s, two cases of 9s, 2 cases of 10s, and a case of 11s. So I have 5 cases of strings, depending on what I want. Once I get down to 1 box, I order another box. So I always have 2. Will Van Hansel says, I have EBs on my 59 right now. I'm Edward Acid Hands. Yes, so I might have to go back to elixirs for the summer. Yeah, luckily for me, I have very, very low pH, so I don't sweat very much. And my strings, I could play a guitar for 2 weeks straight, and the strings still feel brand new. I usually change my strings when the strings get little divots from the frets, because at that point they don't tune up and they don't intonate. So that's when I change my strings. Or if I just get a brand new guitar, like, you know, those Charvels that I showed last week. I had just gotten them, and the first thing I did was take the strings off, put new strings on, set the guitar up the way I want. And I haven't changed strings on them yet, and I've played all 3 of those guitars non-stop all for the last 2 weeks that I've had them. I love them so much, and yeah, they're just starting to die now, but you can't really tell. If any of you played them, you would think they were new strings, but I could tell. But anyway, here's the SG, the 61 SG. Next guitar is my SG The Fool. Now this guitar is a, boy, what is it? I want to say it's a Carlo Greco maybe from the 70s that my buddy Nick found. It feels every bit as good as a early to mid 60s SG. It was white. It was white, and then Nick painted this graphic all over it, and he did an amazing job. Changed some parts, did some sanding just to make it more like a real Gibson SG. The neck carve feels like a 64 SG. It's slightly thicker than a 61. This fretboard's Brazilian rosewood. These are two Gibson pickups. I believe this is a 498T or 497, whatever it is, or maybe it's a 500T, and this is a 498 in the neck. It's exact. It's really exact to Eric Clapton's guitar. The paint job is amazing. It's also a very light guitar. This is a great sounding guitar. Wish I could play. Wish I could play, man, right now. That's pretty much this guitar. It's got nylon saddle bridge like Clapton's was, and the trapeze. I put this little metal tip on here. I think his had a metal tip on it as well. At least in some pictures it looks like it. The Fool. These are milk bottle Grovers. They're not the Chinese ones. These are American ones. Will Van Hansel asked me slightly off topic, what was the first real guitar you've had? Well, it's very funny, but it would be a 58 Les Paul Jr., a real one. But in 1975, when I started playing, those guitars were $60-$70, so they were fairly inexpensive. And my grandmother, I'll tell you the quick story. So I'm just throwing a baseball up in the air here where I live. I lived in a house where my mom lives across the street. And, I was 5 years old and throwing a ball up, a nice sunny day. And my grandmother comes out and says, "Do you want to play guitar?" So I said, "Okay." Just like that. Just matter of fact like that. And she had a tenant that lived in the house that I'm living in now, which it was a different house because that house burnt down. But on the top floor, a 3-family apartment, that gentleman there gave guitar lessons. So my grandmother said, "Buy my grandson a guitar, teach him guitar, and I'll take $100 off your rent every month." And it's 1975, $100 off your rent? Of course, he said yes. So he bought me that guitar, a 58 Junior, 2-tone sunburst, single cut. But then at that 5 years old, I didn't know what I had. Who knew? So, I had it for a couple years and still didn't know. I didn't know the difference between that guitar or any other guitar. So a buddy of mine in school had what looked to be a Stratocaster, but wasn't a Stratocaster. It was some off-brand name. And I thought to myself, "Oh, wow, that has 3." And at the time, I didn't know they were even pickups. I just called them microphones. "Oh, that has 3 microphones in it. You want to trade for my 1 microphone guitar?" And the guy was like, "Yes." Little did I know, I got the short end of the stick on that one. But that's what it was. Anyway, I learned my lesson. Don't ever trade a 58 Les Paul Jr. for an off-brand Stratocaster. Never. Will Neal says, "Clapton's." Yes, that's what this is. Chris Bevan. Ty's not here today. I don't think he'll do Sundays with me. He's a family man, and that's important. So I'll always call him before I do this on a Sunday, and either if he says yes, great. If not, I'm still gonna do it. So there it goes. Will Van Hansel says, "Sounds and looks great. I can hear it ring even from some chords." Sean Cagle says, "The 490s are ceramic." Yes, they are. It's fine. I have a plethora of guitars, and this guitar happens to sound very good with the ceramic pickups in it. It's a very strong sounding guitar. It's big and beefy. I dig it. It looks the part. It wasn't a very expensive guitar to begin with. I've made it an expensive guitar just by the paint and the parts that are on it and the work that we've put into it. But there it is. My SG Fool Carlo Greco, 70s Carlo Greco. Very good guitar. Will Van Hansel says, "Oh no, still a very cool story. Nice way to start." Yes, thank you. Yes, this guitar rings out. It rings out like crazy. It's very loud. The guitar is vibrating still. All right, it's not vibrating. So there's that guitar. On to the next guitar. My Historic Collection Custom Shop ES335, 1963. In cherry red. This guitar is also homage to Tom Bukovac. Also a crazy good guitar. This is a reverb guitar. I got it on reverb. I believe this is a 2017. Also has the nylon saddles. This has the I forget what they call these pickups. They're custom buckers, but they're a newer, really underwound set. You can hear the wood of this guitar for days. Yes, I have my little Eric Clapton custom truss rod cover on it, but I do not have the Hare Krishna sticker on it. Beautiful piece of wood. This is one of my very favorite guitars. I do have the Hare Krishna sticker though. It's right here. Not putting it on the guitar. Fairly thick neck for a 63. It's also a thin ES335 neck, but on the thicker side of it. Will Van Hansel says MHS. Yes, Memphis Historic Spec. That's exactly it. Yeah, J.D. Simo saw this guitar and fell in love with it. And yeah, he's looking forward to checking this out when he comes up here. When this COVID thing ends, if it ever ends. This guitar is very special because you can play it clean. It sounds like an amazing 335. You can also use low gain, mid gain, and even high gain, and it doesn't howl. For some reason, this does not howl, and I play very loud. Desiree will attest to that. When I got this, I took a chance when I bought this guitar on reverb because the guy said that he didn't like it. He just didn't like it. He didn't tell me what he didn't like about it, but I saw it. I took a look at it. I was like, what could you not like about that? Is there a problem with it? I'm going to take a chance. So I took a chance. And what may not be for someone is perfect for someone else, and it's perfect for me. Not a problem anywhere. The neck is straight as an arrow. Plenty of room, plenty of motion on the truss rod. No scratches, not even one scratch on the guitar. And most of the time, I'm not a clean guitar player. I like relic guitars, but I also like clean guitars from time to time. And this one, this is an NOS. It's just wonderful. There it is, my 63/64 ES335 in cherry red. Anyone have anything to say about that? Let's see. Hey, Eduardo, how are you? I'm just doing a kind of a part 2 to my rig rundown. I'm showing 6 guitars, so when you're done watching, watch from the beginning. Ah, my mom is here. She says, beautiful guitar. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Will Van Hansel says, that's a beauty. I love my 59 spec Rusty Anderson 335 from Memphis. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that guitar is just incredible. Rusty Anderson, for those of you who don't know, he's the lead guitar player for Paul McCartney. And he has an original 59, which is it's a blonde, and Gibson made a reissue, a replica of his guitar, and it's gorgeous. You know, if you like blondes, go get it. I happen to like redheads. There it is, right there. Again, I won't tell that to Desiree because she may have to turn her hair red. I wouldn't want it that way. I like her hair the way it is. Just between me and you, all of you. The next and final guitar is my Gretsch Smoke. This is a Brian Setzer model. It's the newest Brian Setzer model that's been out. It's basically a replica of the 59 6120 that he's been using for the last 15 or so years. You can tell that it was like either a Monday guitar or a Friday guitar because of the where the volume knob is. It should be in the center. It should be somewhere around here, but someone was lazy and made the hole towards the end. It's kind of special that way because you don't see many of those like that. It's got the newest what the hell is his name? I'm blanking out. Forgive me. I should have done my homework. TV Jones. It's got the newest TV Jones Filtertrons that sound like an original 50s Filtertron. They sound incredible. This is it's not a high gloss guitar, so it looks like a 50s guitar. There's the headstock. There's the signature on the back. It's a beautiful shade of orange. The sides are very flamed. I don't know if you can see that, but the sides are extremely flamed. The bridge is definitely pinned down. The Bigsby stays in tune amazingly. And yet another guitar that's inspired by Tom Bukovac, because when I saw his rig rundown, and we all saw that when he showed his 6120, his original 61, I had to have one. I had to have a 6120. I scoured Reverb and eBay for an original 60 or 61. There was a 61 that was in great shape for like $8,000, and I couldn't pull the trigger on a guitar that I wasn't going to play every single day of my life. If it's going to sit on a stand for a lot of its life and you play it every once in a while, don't pay $8,000 for it. This guitar is not a custom shop, John. It's made in Japan, but it's anywhere. It's just as good as any USA guitar I've ever played. I really love the Vintage Select models, and especially, well, this is not a Vintage Select, but it's a replica of Setzer's original 59, the one that he's been using for the last 15 years. The neck profile is slightly V'd in the first position. Well, hell, it's slightly V'd all the way up, but it's fairly thin. You can get your hand around it really nice. You know how if you know anything about Gretsch guitars, they play a little spongy. They're not really spanky. This one doesn't play that spongy. It's very the attack is very immediate. It's really cool. And this one happens to resonate. Usually Gretsch's, you play the note and it dies out right away. This guitar resonates really nicely. It sustains very nicely. Sean Cagle says TV Jones. Yes, Will Van Hensel says TV Jones. Yes, that's what they are. Will says, beautiful. Love the orange 6120. I had to trade my two Gretches for my 335. I can understand that. A 335 is going to be a main guitar. Gretches not so much. They're very hard to solo on. Mark Roberts says, always wanted a Gretsch. My dad had a very nice red one, and got rid of it. I'm heartbroken to hear that. That's too bad. I'm sorry. Will Van Hensel says, I had a white falcon at one point and loved, but the neck was too thin for me, so I let it go. Some guitars are just, they're good, but not good for you. I understand that. But you'll never find out until you have it. Once you have it, you can understand. You can either love it or not. The fretboard radius Dennis wants to know on this, I believe, is I want to say it's a 10-inch 10-inch radius. You can bend and it doesn't fret out. You can get the action on this guitar is super duper low. Let me see if I can get that. Check out how low that is. That's crazy low. For a big jazz box, hollow body, that's very low. John Parsons says, I have a 6120 1959 Chet Atkins model, but it's so big and heavy in the body that I rarely play it. This is not very heavy. Yeah, it's a bigger body. I believe it's 16 inches from here to here. This guitar is not as wide from front to back as a normal 6120 is. It's a little bit, tiniest bit thinner, which makes it a lot more comfortable to play. I also like that they switched the mud switch, which usually is here, but they put it here, and the pickup selector is here. More like it's easier to get to, more like a Les Paul. You don't have to climb over it to get to the pickup selector. I think that's a genius to put it here. Normally on an old 6120, the mud switch would be here, and the pickup selector would be here. Doesn't really make sense, but perfect sense this way, at least to me. The guitar intonates amazingly. The Bigsby stays in tune really great, and I love this guitar. This is one of my favorite guitars. I'm glad I own it. I don't think I'll ever sell it. It's just wonderful. I don't play it every day, but when I play it the whole day because it is wonderful to play, and it's great to play something different for once in a while. My Setzer Smoke 6120. That's all the guitars I have for today. Anyone have any questions? The mud switch, what does that do? Well, it's like a tone switch. It's like your tone knob. In the middle, it's open and bright. When it's down, it's slightly muddy like this. And when it's up, so you can't understand, like you couldn't understand what I'm saying. It's really, really dark and muddy when the switch is up. Dennis Briel says, I got to insure my gear. Any recommendations? Well, if you're renting an apartment, get renter's insurance. You can put them on that. That's kind of like the cheapest way out. You don't really have to have the serial numbers and all that stuff. You just take a picture of the guitar in your house, on your wall or wherever it is where it sits. You can't, best bet is always to get the serial numbers, but you don't have to. And God forbid anything happens to it while it's in your house, your renter's insurance will pay for it. Or you can go the whole 9 yards and go to a guy like Gruen in Nashville. Get all your guitars appraised, like really appraised by a guitar guy that does appraisals. Take it to an insurance company, maybe a gear insurance company, or I'm sure you could take it to Geico, any one of the insurance companies, and give them the information, how much they cost, how much you paid for them, what they're appraised for now, and they'll write up a premium for you, and they'll be insured. Guys that have original 50s, 58, 59, 60 Les Pauls usually insure them, but their insurance is so extravagant. It's because the guitar is a $300,000 guitar. Their insurance is going to be sky high, and their premium is going to be sky high. But if you ever lose that guitar, get stolen, broken, in a fire anywhere, they'll give you the money to go get another one, if you can find one. Will Van Hansel says, Pete Townsend played a 6120 from Joe Walsh through a Bandmaster Tweed on Who's Next. Yes. Actually, that guitar is on Reverb right now for over $50,000. Beautiful guitar. The front of it and the back of it is highly flamed. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. I believe Townsend gave it to Entwistle, or maybe it belonged to Entwistle and Townsend used it. In any case, it belonged by The Who, and now it is being sold, I think, for $59,000. Check it out. It's on Reverb. Jason Wade says, I have mine insured through renter's insurance with the same company as my auto insurance. That's what I have. That's what I'm doing. Yes. Sean Cagle says, thanks. I want to get a Gretsch pool. I want to get in the Gretsch pool. Feedback scares me. And the feel thing. I think Billy Gibbons said you have to live with it practically. You have to live with one practically. Yeah. Yeah, if you're not used to playing it, especially at high volumes, you gotta play them all the time to know how to tame them. Anyone have any last questions? I think I'm gonna call it a night. Will Van Hansel says Townsend must have given it or sold it to John. It came to him via Walsh. Very cool guitar. I believe it. I knew I didn't have the story exactly straight, but it was one of those. But yeah, I believe the Entwistle estate is selling it for $59,000 some odd dollars. Again, check it out on Reverb. Just type in Gretsch 6120, highest priced. First one will come up. Sean, he says thanks for your time. That's what I'm here for. You can ask me any questions. You can catch me on Facebook Messenger. Just don't ask me questions at 11 o'clock at night. I will not answer, and if I do, I'll be very upset. I get up very early in the morning to go to dialysis, so I try to get a good night's sleep. You can call me anytime up to about 10, and you can text me up until about 10:30. After that, I try not to answer my phone. Will Van Hansolo, yes, happy Sunday. Mark Roberts, take care, brother. I will be doing this as far as I can every Sunday. I'm not sure what time I'm going to be doing it. It just really depends on when I have free. But our next show is this Thursday. And let me tell you who we have on. If you can give me 1 second, I will let you know who we have on, because I don't remember. We have Brandon Paul is our next show this Thursday. Check it out. August 6th. Brandon Paul, check him out on Facebook or Instagram. He is a motherfucker of a guitar player. Insane, incredible. His chops are great. He's got taste. It's not just speed. He's got taste. He's melodic. Amazing. Check him out. And check us out on Thursday at 8 p.m. Everyone, thank you for joining me. Fruitcake Tony, yeah, you're a little early. I'm about to leave. Sorry, pal. Benjamin Small says, Dave, I love the Sunday show. Thank you so much. Yeah, Will, Brandon Paul. Check him out. He's excellent. Yeah, Sean, anytime, reach out. You can text me anytime during the day. I will answer. I answer every question. In fact, probably to a fault. Sometimes I answer at the most wrong times to answer, but I will answer your calls and texts. I'll talk to you all soon. John Parsons, that show with the guitar maker, Fitzgerald, was a really good one. Keep it coming. Thank you so much. Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald is a very close friend of mine. I've known him for 30 years. He's been doing fret jobs and for me for a long time. He worked for John Suhr. He worked for Rudy's Music. He worked for the Mandolin Brothers. He's worked for Sam Ash, and now he's on his own, and he's doing really well. He's busier than more people than I can't believe how busy he is. Well, I can because he's that good. He's that good. So, yeah. Again, I'll be here. I'll be here with Ty Thursday night at 8, and I'll be here next Sunday. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much for showing up. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.